So dear friends, the Bahrain Grand Prix is over for another year. Suitably, the vlog is after dark this week, so let's talk about it a bit, shall we? Anyone else's heartbroken? Mine certainly is. If you know me, you know that I'm a huge Charles Leclerc fanboy, cheerleader, whatever you want to call it, and yeah, it wasn't to be. Some sort of issue with his Ferrari after a stunning pole lap, really, second youngest pole sitter ever, and gets snatched out from under his feet by some sort of pesky Ferrari power unit issue. Unsure as of yet what the issue was. I never got that memo. Maybe some kind of electrical issue, although I imagine that is not the case. Yeah, that's kind of really heavily on my mind at the moment. I can't really think of any other points to talk about from that race, although there are many and they will come to my brain. Qualifying was great though, really good session, and he just kept getting quicker. Ferrari really looked on it this weekend, so the horse is indeed prancing once more. Mercedes apparently sandbagged during testing. Ferrari went one better and sandbagged the entire first race weekend. 2 races. It took Sebastian Vettel 2 races to instigate Mission Spino once again. Quite an unusual thing to see. Sebastian Vettel had a few spins last year, as you may remember. Probably cost him the title, truth be told. And this time, he just looked like he dropped it under acceleration after what was a pretty juicy battle with Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton went around the outside of him at turn 4. Vettel got over the curbs, got a little bit too eager on the accelerator, and eventually just did a neat little pirouette and ended up facing the wrong way. And then some sort of vibrations, possibly from his flat spot, ended up costing him his front wing as well in quite an explosive style. So bad luck. Not bad luck. Poor judgment. A mixture of both, potentially. Who knows? He does. I don't. So Lewis Hamilton ends up winning the race, and to be fair, you do have to be in it to win it. He can't be blamed for winning when Leclerc's car lets him down. It doesn't make it any less horrible. And that's the great thing about sport. We get so emotionally invested in these athletes, in these drivers, in these fighter pilots, whatever you want to call them. And at the end of the day, one of them wins and the others don't. And sometimes it's driver related and sometimes it's machinery related. This got quite deep, didn't it? But the point is, it's bittersweet, but the fact that we're so engrossed in it shows that sports like Formula 1 can I don't know what I'm trying to say with this. Basically, Formula 1's really good and you should keep watching it. And although I am very sad that Leclerc didn't win his first race, I know he will win several races later down the line this year. So I'm sad at the moment, but in a few weeks when he triumphs, I'll be happy. I'm happy whenever Formula 1's on, to be honest. What else should we talk about? So, the beard to be feared, Valtteri Bottas, barely featured this weekend. He was just kind of there. After his momentous triumph in Australia, Bottas, it's not like he had a bad weekend, but it wasn't standout, it wasn't exceptional in any way. It was just kind of run-of-the-mill, I suppose. Max Verstappen was similar. I don't think you can anticipate Red Bull Honda getting a podium at every race, since the top 2 teams look far too strong. But yeah, Verstappen wasn't able to factor as much this weekend. He might have done if there was not a safety car for the double Renault retirement, which I will I will get to in a sec. We need to talk about McLaren. Wow, what a great weekend they had. Not a double points finish, sadly, as Carlos Sainz had to retire, but Lando Norris take about 6th place. Excellent result, and it was not in any way, shape or form lucky. It was all on merit. I don't know what it was, but night and day difference to Melbourne, really. The car looked really hooked up. Maybe they just favour the straights and the speed of Bahrain, but Sainz was taking on Verstappen earlier in the race, and Max was tapping his wheel a little bit with his front wing. There was some slight contact, and Sainz ultimately ended up paying the ultimate price, and that was too much ultimate in one sentence, but yeah, Sainz got knocked out sadly and eventually retired, but Norris carried that pace forward and ended up really high up in the points. I think Norris is quite high in the standings after grabbing 8 points, so good work from the young rookie. Pierre Gasly finally got in the points for Red Bull. It's been a long time coming for young Frenchman to put in a top 10 appearance, but he's finally made it, and let's see if it's the first of many. Has paled in comparison to his teammate a little bit, but then I suppose when you compare yourself to Max Verstappen, you're going to have a bad time. Perez rounds out the points to bring Racing Point another Racing Point. So Racing Point have 3 Racing Points now after Lance Stroll got 2 Racing Points for Racing Point in Australia. My takeaway from this weekend though is Leclerc is the real deal, and he's not going anywhere. And I think Lewis Hamilton was saying to him after the race, you've got a long future ahead of you. He is only 21, so let's see if he has a better weekend of it in China. The 1000th race coming up. I'm very excited. I don't think it'll be any different to a normal race weekend, other than the fact that everyone's been going a long time. No idea what happened to Ricciardo or Hülkenberg. Just the cars switched off. Renault seem to be cursed at the moment, so whatever their issue, they need to work pretty sharpish to get that figured out, because my first inclination was that they hit each other. Maybe there was a Hulk smash or something, but turned out they just both conked out. Oh shit, there's a bus. I'm going to go home now because it's quite late. Don't know who that is. Some bell end. Anyway, I will see you around. Whoever that was must be a big fan of my vlog. Anyway, I'll see you next week for more puns. Goodbye. Just realised I've not rated the race, so I'm going to give it 8 mustaches. Yeah, 8 mustaches.